E aí, oitavo ano, vamos dar início à aula de correção das atividades da unidade 2. Textinho que a gente leu semana passada, vamos responder agora certinho. What kind of text is this? A dialogue. What's the text about? A boy and a grandfather talking and fishing in a lake. Check the correct alternative. Explain your choice in Portuguese. Então, as alternativas foi probably not, yes, possibly, no e I don't know. A explicação, cada um vai ter a sua. Read the text again and write true or false. Then correct the false sentence. Então, there was a big city under the lake before the constructions of the dome. False. There was a small town under the lake before the construction of the dome. Então, tinha uma cidade pequena antes da construção da barragem. There was a park in front of the church. True. There was tree, flowers and shops on the left. There were tree, flowers and a house on the left. The main street was on the right. True. There was cinema. True. There was a school where Lucas studied. There was a school where Lucas' grandfather studied. Look at the picture and talk about their difference with classmates. Então, essa aqui, a gente leu sobre ela semana passada. Hoje nós vamos fazer o exercício, corrigir o exercício. Write the sentence based on the picture in exercise 5. There wasn't a theater. There were houses. There was a bandstand. There weren't cars. There wasn't a parking lot. There weren't high buildings. So, now, agora então, there wasn't a theater 16 years ago. There is a theater today. There were houses 6 years ago. There aren't houses today. There was a bandstand 16 years ago. There isn't a bandstand today. There weren't cars 16 years ago. There are cars today. There wasn't a parking lot 16 years ago. There is a parking lot today. There weren't high buildings 16 years ago. There are high buildings today. Então, nesse exercício está falando por que no lado esquerdo está no passado e no lado direito está no presente. O verbo to be está no presente do lado direito porque nós estamos falando do que tem na imagem de hoje, today. E o outro está no passado porque nós estamos falando de uma imagem de 60 anos atrás. Tudo bem? Read the timeline, then write true or false. Olhando para a timeline, a linha do tempo, nós vemos. There was Coca-Cola in 1886. True. There were eyeglasses in 1250. False. There is a penicillin nowadays. True. There was a volcanic eruption in Italy in 2009. False. There were home computers in 1970. False. There was Paraban American Games in Mexico in 2010. False. After 1988, there were digital cell phones. True. After 1953, there were colors TVs. True. Check the appropriate alternative to complete the dialogue. Are Paul and Kelly coming to class now? They. Does Anne talk your brother every week? She and him. When do you meet your girlfriend? I and her. What Charles going to give Darlene? He and her. Então, ficou yes, they are. No, she talks to him every day. Ficou I met her on Saturday. ficou por último, he is going to give her a bracelet. There are mistakes in the sentence below. Rewrite the correct them. There was many banks on the street. There were many banks on this street. There was a bank on this street. Were there a mall near the square? Was there a mall near the square? Were there malls near the square? There weren't a girl behind me. There wasn't a girl behind me. There weren't girls behind me. Was there children at the playground? Were there children at the playground? Was there a child at playground? There wasn't studies in the classroom. There weren't studies in the classroom. There wasn't studied in the classroom. There was people at the museum. There were people at the museum. There was a person at the museum. Então, qual a diferença dessas duas respostas que a gente pode dar? Essas respostas, uma está no singular, outra está no plural. Então, essa é a diferença entre as respostas. Tá bom? Pode responder das duas maneiras que estará correto. Página 24. Eu passei esse exercício na semana passada. Quando for entregar a provinha que eu entreguei para vocês essa semana, eu quero esse exercício junto. E agora, mais um exercício. A página 26 e a página 27, ela vai servir como revisão para vocês fazerem a prova. E também, além disso, um exercício que vai estar valendo ponto avaliativos, tá, gente? Pontos junto com a prova de vocês. Certo? Então, a página 26 e a página 27, é só vocês lerem o textinho e responder. Tá tranquilo? Então, por enquanto, é isso. Até mais, pessoal.